Morning. Today we're going to look at the microenvironment and we're going to revise what we learned in grade 10 and grade 11. So what is the microenvironment made up of? Its primary element is what we call the vision and the mission. So what is the vision? The vision is like a dream. It's where the business sees itself over a long period of time. So if we look at Apple, their vision was to be the best personal computing business in the world. That was their dream. The mission statement is inspired by the vision. It's what the business is trying to do. They are trying to deliver a specific product. So the mission is about the how they go about doing this. And if you see someone who is on a mission, they are trying to do something. They're trying to get somewhere. Within the vision, mission, and objectives, we look at the purpose of the business and the goals that they want to achieve. And when a business sets goals, it's not good to just say something like, I want to be the biggest cell phone provider. Well, where do you want to be the biggest cell phone provider? To what target group are you aiming at? So one needs to use what we call SMART goals. They need to be specific. Who is your target market? By when do you want to reach that goal? How much money do you want to make? It needs to be measurable. How many cell phone contracts do you want to sell every single month? It needs to be attainable. It's something that you should be able to do. It also needs to be relevant, and the time base, the deadline needs to be put into those goals so that they can be achieved. One also has what we call primary goals, and in a business the primary goal is ultimately to make a profit. However, there are secondary goals, and those secondary goals are about fulfilling the needs of the consumers. They're about making sure that your employees are motivated and happy and creating an organizational culture that is one that will prosper and make sure that the business succeeds. The second big element in the microenvironment is what we call the organizational culture and the resources. I like to define the organizational culture as the identity of the business. If one walks into a lawyer's firm, everyone's wearing ties, they're very smart, very professional, work needs to be done, time is money, and so people are on a mission to make and see as many clients as they can. Whereas if you had to work in an advertising environment, it would be more relaxed, more chilled, the creative spirits need to be encouraged and motivated, and so it really is the identity with which a business identifies itself with. Let's watch this YouTube clip.
Apple is always about pushing the envelope, about doing the best thing possible. And that's different from any company in industry. A lot of companies, in terms of making it the highest quality or the most elegant, they will stop at some point because it's too hard. And Apple will never give up because it's too hard or it's impossible. There's
So now that we've watched that video clip, let's just recap. The organizational culture looks at things like the values, the morals, what is right and what is wrong, the beliefs, what your convictions are, what you feel is to be right, and then the purpose of the company, what your aim or goal is. Within this organizational culture, one also has to look at what resources the organization has, and we give this the term organizational resources. There are 4 of them. Okay, the human resources. Who are the people who are employed in that business? The physical resources. Those would be all your assets, your machinery, your desks, your computers. And then the financial resources. How easy can you access finances from bank institutions? Thirdly, within the microenvironment, we have managers and leaders and an organizational structure. Now, there are 2 types of management versus leadership. You could either have a boss who tells you just go and do it, or one that says let's do it together. So there's a clear distinction between management and leadership. You're welcome to go and watch this YouTube clip on your own. The organizational structure is how the business is structured in terms of who's the boss, who are the workers, who needs to speak to who. So who is in authority of the next line of workers. And within the organizational structure, it tells us who does what, the connection between the positions, and who do you report to. It also looks at the coordination between departments. Lastly, the microenvironment looks at the 8 business functions. These 8 business functions are either done by the owner of the business, or he employs people to manage those specific avenues that need to be done. So we have the general management, public relations, purchasing, human resources, production, administration, marketing, and financial function.